Hey everybody, Dave from Informed American here. I'm gonna challenge you all just a little bit. We've heard this idea that we're gonna stop buying from China. We're tired of being dependent on them, and we want to change our. We're gonna change our buying habits to stop our dependence on them for many reasons. One, sort of punishment for what they've done for the virus, and two, because this buying from them has, we've lost so many millions of jobs going overseas. We don't produce enough stuff over here, and we're sick and tired of what's been going on, and we want a change. There's a story on uninformedamerican.com. It asked a poll, and this is from FTI Consulting, found that 40% of Americans say they won't buy products made in China, and 78% say they'd be willing to pay more for products that come from someone else. I happen to share that sentiment. However, I don't believe it. I don't think it's going to happen. And let me give you an example why. Today on Get Informed American, I talked to Rodney. And by the way, that episode will be posted shortly on our YouTube page. Just head over to youtube.com/TheInformedAmerican to catch that latest episode. But we talked about this just a little bit. And the example he gave is, look, when you go to a store, you got a couple of products, right? You got two of them. One of them made in China, $8. One of them made in the United States, $12. Which one are you going to buy? It's the $8 one, isn't it? Pretty much every single time. And we've all made these decisions, haven't we? You're just going to buy, when it comes down to that individual consumption decision, when you're going to spend your money, 9 times out of 10, you're just going to buy the cheaper one. And it doesn't necessarily even have to be from China. It could be from Taiwan or Vietnam, Mexico, Honduras, Pakistan, who knows. But you're almost on an individual level, you're almost never gonna pick the more expensive one, will you? Why would you? It's irrational. And of course, you get the Chinese one, and maybe it breaks or whatever. But even what I'm saying here is, if it's up to us to make these individual decisions, I don't think we're gonna do it. The only way this can actually be done is to basically sort of remove the decision from the consumer on a mass basis. It's through tariffs, something like tariffs, which essentially raises the cost almost to an equal level. Because the thing is, the difference between that $8 product and that $12 product, there's so much of that cost that's hidden and that we actually end up paying for anyway, in the form of lost jobs, lower wages. We've got this opioid crisis, which is all the way through the Midwest, where all those jobs were left, packed up, went overseas to places like China. So yeah, the product that comes back in the door is cheaper, but if we could put those, the real cost of that Chinese product is actually that $12 versus that American made one, but at the register, it's only $8, so you're going to pick that cheaper one. And that's why I say, despite the sentiment, despite what everyone's saying, look, I'm not going to buy from China anymore, and I'm willing to pay more. Are you really? Will you really pay that much more for an American product? And so what I'm saying is, this needs to be more of a national policy. This decision needs to be made up top rather than down at the individual consumer level, because it's just not reasonable, I don't think, to expect Americans to pay more willingly every single time. I don't. So in that sense, no, I don't think people will change their buying habits. I think we essentially need to sort of tilt things in a different way, have those Chinese products reflect their actual costs, so that we can buy American products and employ Americans and be producing things here again. So with that, I want to get to your responses on this, because we posted here on our Facebook page this story that I mentioned on informedamerican.com that has these poll results. So I'll start first with Joseph Masura. I'm hoping that many companies come back home. If prices have to be higher, so be it. I agree. And that's going to be that little bit of a pain point, right? It's going to cost a little bit more, and we have to bring these companies back. But again, just paying more on an A/B, you're going to pick the cheaper one. Karen Shaver says, "Well, I just found out my oysters have lead." Oof. True, swear to God. Geisha from China distributed out of New York. Wow, the warning is right on the product. How can lead tainted food be sold, knowingly sold? Yeah, I mean, God knows what's in a lot of the stuff that comes over from China. There was the baby formula, which was poison. That was a couple of years ago. Unbelievable. There's no safety standards there. And again, right? Cheaper at the register, more expensive in the back end, right? We don't see that real price of the Chinese product is not reflected on the price sticker. We end up paying for it in other ways, health-wise. Again, lost jobs, the opioid crisis, stuff like that. So we basically need a policy that takes this decision-making out of our hands, because we're just going to get the cheaper one and instead boost that price up in the form of tariffs to make it a little more even. David Whiteside says, certainly never will ever again. I'd rather go without. We'll see. Ralph Maddox says, buy made in the USA. Yeah, agreed, Ralph. Thank you. Dave Thomas says, I don't think anyone really wants to buy stuff from China, but oftentimes people don't have a choice. He's sort of along my lines here, David. Try finding a pair of shoes that's not made in China, right? Most toys are made in China. A lot of electronics, like cell phones, unless you want to live like the Amish, buy Chinese products is pretty much unavoidable. Yeah, great point. I mean, right, what are you going to do? You're going to go, I mean, those 40% of Americans that say they're never going to buy from China again, I mean, really? I mean, let's say you need, I don't know, it's just any product that you need for your home, and you go look around and you start turning the labels back, and it's China, 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 and then the U.S. one that's 25% more expensive. Which one are you going to pick? Rebecca Gilmore says, buy American. Agree. Jackie Floyd says, we will have to for a while, but really need to get a lot of manufacturing back into the States. Yeah, I agree. This is the one goal of Trump's tax reform, getting business tax lowered from 37% down to the average world level of 21% would make us be able to compete in this country. Yeah, good point there. Anything we can do, even if it means incentivizing manufacturing back to the United States, I think the cost is worth it. Becky Cordell Campbell says, took me 2 hours finding a tablecloth not made in China. Here we go again. Finally found one made in Mexico, one from Canada. No red, white, and no red and white made in the United States at all. We got to do better. Agree 100%. And then Melanie French says, maybe that's a good business to start. Old-fashioned American-made tablecloths. Yeah, let's go for it, Becky. And then continue that conversation going on. But yeah, that is the problem, right? You don't even have it. It's not even a choice. I mean, forget the one cheaper and the one more expensive. You can't even find one made in the United States. So we have to get this stuff back. Don Lincoln says, I want to buy anywhere but from China. Dan Skulkin says, ban everything from China now. How about that? Let's just do it that way. Talk about how not having a choice. Then there won't be available. But yeah, to me, tariffs raise them right up. Michelle Davis says, just went into Walmart and they were selling disposable masks from China. Oh man, I mean, do you really want to put on a face mask from China? You might be better off just like put a piece of paper. Might be better than a mask from China. Sandy Henschel says, no more China products produced for me. Good on you, Sandy. And I hope, I mean, again, you know, I don't mean to be picking on you guys, but I want you to sort of understand, just to say I won't do it, you know, it's hard because you can't find it. And it's so much cheaper. It'd be almost stupid to always buy the more expensive thing. Michael Boyle says, yeah, but Walmart now stands alone, predicted over 30 years ago. Yeah, where are those small businesses? And we've heard this, right? I mean, you can go into Walmart and buy all the Chinese-made products you want, but you know you can't have your mom and pop store open anymore during this lockdown. Crazy. Sean Stone has, hell no, we don't. Jack Turner says, stop doing business with communists, in all caps. Jack's not a fan of the commies, not a fan of the Chinese. Do not want to buy from them anymore. Delinda Pitt says, yes, I agree. Nothing from China. Danny Ray says, it's junk. Yeah, I mean, it is junk. And here's another thing, by the way. A lot of the stuff you get on Amazon, made in China. And you know why it's so cheap to buy stuff on Amazon made in China? Because the U.S. Postal Service subsidizes those products. It's literally cheaper. The way some deal we made up for China as the developing country many years ago, they qualify for this. It is cheaper. This is crazy, but it's cheaper to ship a product from China to your door than it is to ship it from anywhere else in the United States, because the United States Postal Service subsidizes the delivery of that package. Now tell me that's not insane. Unbelievable. Why is that still going on? Why was it ever a policy, and why is it still going on right now? Unbelievable. Yeah, and we hear about we got to bail out the Postal Service. Well, there's a start right there. Vicky Pitsley says, nope, I'm done. Yeah, I think we're all kind of done on this. We just want some action. We want to have the right policies in place so that we don't have to worry about this crap. William Cobb says, no, we American people want to beat the hell out of him. Why would he why would he let us get into that condition with his military in the world? And why is he, I don't know where you're going here, William. I don't think you're responding to the question. Sorry about that. Selma Howell says, nope. Carolyn Hill says, yep, done with that. Dorota Peters says, nope, don't want to help terrorist China. Ooh, terrorists. And Melody Hagen says, "Want to love the B-52? Truth will destroy China." Well, I guess in the form of a B-52 bomber. Getting a little you're banging the war drums there, Melody. Burt Ward says, "PRC China is a lying, genocidal tyranny, state sponsor of murder and terrorism around the globe, world killer." With their pollution, slave state, and specialist in filthy tricks, suborning other countries' media, promoting fake science, and corrupting children by taking over universities around the world. Wannabe Lord of the Universe Z must be thrown out and an honest and responsible leader to put in, or millions of Chinese will starve. Well said, Ben, and I think that's a great place to end this video. I'd love for you guys to keep this conversation going. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of my thoughts here. That we're never gonna. This isn't gonna be solved by us making these individual decisions at the individual consumer level. This must be something bigger. It needs to be a national policy. Jack up the tariffs. Give incentives for American companies to bring things back home, to make stuff here in America, so that when all of us, I mean, look at we have 3-4 examples. People trying to find a product made in America, and you can't. Unbelievable. Love to know what you think. Comment below. Also, head on over to our YouTube channel to check out that episode with Rodney for Get Informed America. Also, go to informedamerican.com, and you can get real smart news in your inbox every day by subscribing to our email. We've got Memorial Day coming up. We will be off in observance of that holiday, but I hope you have a great long weekend, remembering all those our American forces. And maybe this is a chance for you to take that Monday off and to get out and do something where you haven't been able to, if there's a place for you to go, or just to be out back, grilling out back, hanging out with friends and family, and just enjoying that day off. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you next week.